So I'll go ahead and I'll just jump right into it. So I've been busy, definitely busy, trying to connect the 1990 parcel data to the ER data. As you can see, I have a lot green. There are some yellows, but I'll touch on those a little bit later. But so as of right now, I can go ahead and everything that's green has been linked to an ER record. And then, so what I can do is, so right now I have I have the ER data right here. I'm going to go ahead and I can select all
Bryce,
the records.
is there any? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is there any way you can make the screen bigger? Because I can. It's really tiny on our end.
Let me try. Maybe if I put it into a windowed mode. Does that help at all?
No.
Okay.
It's really tiny. Is it only tiny on my screen or everybody else?
No, it's small. On mine too.
It's really tiny. You can't make it. It's.
Let me try.
I mean, it's okay. It's just that I want to be able to follow what you're doing.
Yeah, and I can try. Is it the entire application small?
Yeah.
Okay. Frank, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, you might need to maximize the zoom window. That's what I did on my monitor here, and so now it takes up my full screen. Is it taking up your full screen there?
Yeah, I'm in full screen mode right now.
Do you have it fit to 100% on the view options?
Let's see.
Because anybody can do that. Like you can go up to the view options and go to 100% at the top.
Oh, okay.
That's my gut feeling. Maybe Allie needs to increase it a bit. And maximize the window that she's looking at.
Well, the only thing
looks fine here on my side, Bryce.
Okay.
Under view, view options. Here we go.
Zoom ratio.
Zoom ratio 100%. Let me make it 100%. Is that better? Is that better for everyone else?
So I think it does it just for you.
Oh, so Colleen, go up at the top in the center, and it says view options.
Okay.
All the other board members, it says view options, and then you just hit 100. Go to zoom ratio, and then 100%. That'll bring it up. It's much better.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so essentially, so everything that's green has been validated. It's been confirmed, so you can see that everything's highlighted this blue outline. So what I did is I selected all the ER records, the 557 of them, and it said, according to like the linkage to 1990, there's 560 records that were related or linked. So though it is 560, a couple of these are duplicates. Essentially, it's one parcel, but it has multiple lots, so those lots are still associated with that parcel. But so there's still some work to do with some of the yellows, especially more up in this area. And right through here. I know that I did talk to Jesse, was that last week? And this reflection ridge, I know, is in the ER book. But according to the 1990 maps that were sent over, this actually isn't in any of the maps. But I know that, so the way that I see it going forward, and I can get a lot of these yellows cleared up, but I will need to use the county's 2009 data to do so. But kind of my next step and what I was thinking to make sure that we ensure that we're getting all of these green and everything is linked is that now that 1990's done, I can transfer or connect the data from 1990 to 2009 pretty easily, all the greens. Mm-hmm. And then I'll simply just use the 2009 parcel data to then add in all these extra relates, because some of these parcels will change. And it'll also include this reflection ridge as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of the next step that I was thinking about, is so kind of now that we have 1990 kind of solidified, we'll go ahead and we can now start to clear up all of these yellows into greens with the 2009.
Good.
So do you have kind of guesstimate of when it'll be all completed, where you feel that we're all right on with all the ERs?
So I think a lot of that just depends. So I know that there will be some that the 2009 will not match to. I think that's whenever I'll engage Jesse, kind of just so we can go through one by one and figure out, how these actually do link. But I'm very close. I would say that this was the big bulk of the lifting. And so now this other part is kind of just the back half of just filling in the 20% that's missing.
Okay.
And so that I could, my feeling is that I can have this wrapped up by our next sprint review.
Oh, good.
But I don't want to guarantee anything in case there are some hiccups that come around.
It's I just needed is it going to be months, or is it a couple of weeks is great, or even 3 weeks is great.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm shooting for. And I'm pretty confident that I can get that done within that time.
So does each float home, I don't know if you have this available to answer, but is each float home have their own ER then?
Yes, they do, but I think, Bryce, you're probably tracking it too by the tax records. They each have a tax identification number, Allie, and that's how we establish the ERs. But yes, they do.
Okay.
Or they should. We still have to do our inspection.
So each
So
of the
they don't necessarily have their own ER. They should have their own ER attached to the parcel just on shore. And that will be something that will be part of the reconciliation process as we go through.
and so each float home is represented on this map. Every single float home.
It should be, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to pull up one of the docks with float homes on it, like in over at McDonald's or at Chan's? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so where would these float homes be
On the water.
located?
My gut is that that's not the case yet. I mean, we have
No,
the
it's not the
parcels.
case yet.
The ER is associated with, but we don't have the float homes that they're associated with, not at this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that will be part of the end result. The float homes will be added.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, our thought is that each of the ERs will have a geographic location, and that's this last 20%. And I bet a lot of those float homes fall into that category. Would be my hunch.
Okay.
I guess as we work through that 20%, we'll probably determine that. Is that fair to say, Bryce?
And I do know, Bryce, that they have individual tax identification numbers.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And so they would be listed like they are in the other float homes. You'd have little rectangles along Gary's shore there. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, assuming the float homes have addresses, so my assumption is, Bryce, we'd use the address point database from the county to identify those float homes, and then they'd be an additional feature here.
Okay.
My guess is that's not how it's going to be. So even when I do ER research, I go onto the Kootenai County GIS map and I can see the rooftops of the float homes themselves. And yes, they do have addresses associated with them, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to our ER book. What our ER book does is it ties all of those float homes back to a specific parcel number that's actually on shore. And those parcel numbers on shore have a set number of ERs associated with them, and then go out from there. So it's going to be some handwork on our end to be able to tie those together.
Okay.
But we would need to see those rooftops, which we'd probably just have to pluck and put those images in there. But each float home isn't going to necessarily correlate to an ER. It's tricky. It's just a grouping of ERs under one parcel number, which is a parcel that's on shore.
So then let me understand this. So then someone has an ER on shore and they have 4 float homes. They're only paying for 1 ER, but they have 4 float homes?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Then
So, because
ERs were assigned right, Ally, and they're individually, we have to qualify that, but we still have to make a personal inspection because over the years, we're not sure about some of them, but yeah, they all were individually given an ER.
each
The
float.
ones, yes, the ones we're aware of. Yes.
yeah, ERs are assigned to parcel numbers, and float homes aren't parcels.
Right.
They don't have any land. So because ERs are assigned to parcel numbers, it is assigned to a chunk of area on land where the dock comes off of the land. So it's going to be a little
Just
hands-on for us when it comes to that.
You say parcel numbers, you're talking about the county parcel numbers?
Correct.
Yeah, that's good, and parcel numbers have tax ID numbers, so we have that. Okay,
So, but wouldn't it be beneficial for you guys actually to have the geolocation of the float home the ER is tied to? I mean, I assume that would be
Yes,
super
Yes.
beneficial.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, very,
Right.
very.
Right. I mean, I just know from my experience in Benoit County, where I had a home that was on leased land. You know, it's the same thing as a float home, basically. I didn't own the land underneath it. I didn't have a parcel, but I had a home. And sure enough, the county sent me taxes for that home
yeah,
in Rocky Point. And so I
Right.
bet there's a similar thing we could link to at Kootenai County to get you guys to that point.
okay,
So I've added Bryce to this coming sprint to do a sample of how the ER relates to a float home.
Okay.
And maybe that's something that we can show you on the next sprint, at least propose something or tell you if it'll work or won't work or whatever it is. So,
That'd be fantastic.
okay. We'll do that. Anything else to show us, Bryce? So the next steps are kind of to work through that last 20% and probably including these float homes, I guess.
Yes, yeah, but
Good.
nothing else to show.
I have one general question on the ER data. Is there any chance it spans past the 2009 parcel data? So any entries in the ER data, could they have been added later than 2009?
No, that I know of. I thought there was a moratorium on ERs.
that's right, there is, and, you know, that's something, Bryce, that I was looking over the legal documents when we set up, the sewer. And, you know, you had the question about reserved and vacant, and it hit me, they didn't have those terms, you know, usually on a legal document, they would define terms, and they didn't have it, but it hit me, all of ours are sold out, and they have been, I think, since shortly after it was issued. So we only have reserved, but had we not sold them all out, we would have vacant, and they would be available for somebody to come in to the system. But we haven't had those for years because all of ours are sold out, so they're essentially reserved.
Gotcha.
So I know one of our questions, and Bryce, if you could bring it up on the screen, or Amanda, one of the pieces, the nuggets of information that would be valuable to us right now, especially in this kind of winnowing the last 20%, is if we could have pictures sent to Bryce of the ER book pages, because the handwriting, and I think we can demonstrate that in the PowerPoint slide Bryce is going to bring up here in a second, is the handwriting might help us decipher some stuff from the ERs and how they're. Or Amanda can share her screen. One of the two of you I know has the picture I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you need Jesse to scan you the book or make copies and send it to you? Is that what you're requesting, Frank?
Jesse?
I just lost audio.
Yeah, you did.
Here it
I'm
is.
sorry, I lost all your audio for about 15 seconds there.
Oh,
Allie, I know
Yeah,
your mouth was moving and I couldn't hear what you said. Sorry.
actually, I lost the question. What was it?
You were asking if Bryce needs me to scan in and send the ER book to him. And so I did respond to his email and I said, yeah, if he needs me to, it's not something we've done yet, but I can go to Kinko's because the pages are so long. I don't have the ability to do it in the office.
That'd be
Yeah, I mean, even if, and I don't think if somebody wants to volunteer, I know you guys have asked us the question, is there something we could do for you? And literally, if somebody just sat with their cell phone and went, click, next page, click, next page, click, like,
I can
we
do
just,
that.
yeah, this picture you guys see in front of you from the PowerPoint we did way back when, that handwritten information would be valuable. That way we can see how it's changed over time, and that might provide us some clues on how to link up the data.
Yeah, I can do it with my phone if that's something that's acceptable to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, I can do that.
How soon would you need that? Like right now would be helpful?
I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I can do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
great.
Yeah, that works.